Same seat, 7th Congressional District. Please give him a round of hand. Brian.
Thanks, Renk. Thank you all very much. Hoorah. Thanks to all the Marines out there. I see a lot of you out there. Thanks to all the service members out there. I'll start off by saying that I see a lot of Vietnam vets, a lot of vets from different wars. And if you elect me to Congress, you will have a friend and a fellow traveler veteran down in D.C., and I will not forget about you. I will not forget about the Vietnam vets and what you did in South Vietnam and all the wars that our country's fought. We have a disproportionate number of veterans in this district, and that's a good thing because it shows how patriotic we are in this district. And we need somebody down in D.C. that can represent us and what we go through and some of the issues that we have down at D.C. from the VA all the way down. Let me tell you a little bit about myself and why I'm running. I'm running because as a Marine Corps officer, I was always taught that wherever you go, you leave a place better off than you found it. Mark Shower and his crew down in D.C. are going to leave America less prosperous and less free for our children, less of a better place than he found it. And every generation, it's incumbent upon them to leave to their children something better than they received. And I want to make America the same America that I received, one that had full of promise, full of hope. Not this false hope that comes with spending our money, trying to spend taxpayers' money and get us back into prosperity. That's a recipe for disaster. You know, right now you have China buying all of our debt, and then when they say they don't want to buy our debt, Barack Obama says, oh, don't worry about it, I got somebody else to buy our debt. You know who that is? It's the Treasury Department. So we're printing money on one hand and buying it on the other. That doesn't sound too good of a recipe for me. I'll tell you, when I was in the Marine Corps for about more than 8 years, I learned a lot of lessons, but the best lessons I learned were in the battlefields in Iraq. I was there from 2004 to 2005, and I learned a lot in the Second Battle of Fallujah and the Battle of Najaf. A lot of people talk about experience. Well, the experience that I believe our founding fathers wanted their citizen legislatures to have were real-world experience. Guys that walked the battlefield, guys that created businesses or created jobs, people that were in the arena, not people that have spent their lives in a career in politics, whether they're in Lansing or D.C. or whatever. We need some fresh blood, some new perspectives and new ideas down in D.C. I'm with Glenn Beck. Let's throw them all out and start over. After I left the Marine Corps, I came to work at the Thomas More Law Center, which is a constitutional conservative law firm. It's like the ACLU, but conservative. We were one of the ones that were fighting for the Mojave Desert Cross that was just recently said that it was constitutional, could stay where it was, and now that you have some crazy people stealing that cross. We were fighting for the Mount Soledad Cross in San Diego. We're fighting for constitutional liberties all over this country and state. I learned a lot by fighting for those constitutional liberties as an attorney at the Thomas More Law Center. I was also a prosecutor in the Marine Corps as well. And some of those real-world experiences I will bring down with me to D.C. I know one of the lawsuits that was filed by the Law Center, it dealt with what Attorney General Cox was doing, suing the government for this health care reform package. The mandate in the health care reform package is clearly unconstitutional and needs to go. Part of that lawsuit that Attorney General Cox filed, that the Thomas More Law Center filed, is important because hopefully we can put an end to this mandated coverage, and if we can't, then you can send some new people down to D.C. so that we don't get this thing implemented by 2014. We still have time, but this is our last great chance to change it, to get back to our core constitutional values and principles. I'm also running because I have a special needs child, and I spent 3 months walking up and down the hallways of Mott Children's Hospital praying for his life. We have the best health care in the world here, right here in Michigan. We have people coming from all over the world to save their children's lives. And with this health care bill, I know it's going to lead to rationing of care, and we're going to lose that best health care. And we need to have hope for not just the people here in Michigan, but all over the world, because we are that shining city on the hill. I grew up with Ronald Reagan, and he talked about American exceptionalism. He knew what communism was, and he called it evil. I know what radical Islam is, and I call it evil. Yeah.